All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm super excited today. I'm bringing back something that everybody keeps requesting over and over and over again, which is the live coachings. Today, I've actually got somebody from my community again. I've got Dariel Bossins here. Super excited to have you, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you. Super excited to be here.
Nice. So why don't you, just for everybody, just tell us a little bit about your voiceover journey so far, how long you've been doing it, what got you into it, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I think, like a lot of people, when I was a kid, it always just seems like, something cool to be in a video game or be in a cartoon or something like that. Then I reached early adulthood, and I remember, I think it was like right after high school, 2006. I would see ads online for voices.com and stuff like that. And it was always kind of like there in the back of my head. But at the time, I kind of told myself what a lot of people will tell you, that it's a pipe dream, you got to get really lucky,
Yeah.
yada, yada. And then later in adulthood, just last November, actually, I was getting ads for a voice acting lessons or school. I won't say which one, but I
think I
kept
know
getting
what
it
it
on my. What's up?
I think I know what it is, where they're like a
Yep,
ton of ads are
yep.
everywhere. You type in voiceover, the ads just pop up.
Right. Yep. So I was getting the ad over and over and over again. And I figured, why not try? If it works out, it works out. If not, I'm like a serial hobby collector anyways. I just have like a cool new hobby I could play around with.
Yeah, for sure. That's a great way of looking at it.
Mm.
So you dove in. What'd you do?
Yeah, I dove in. I got the course, and the course was good. I got nothing bad to say about the course. It really opened my eyes to the idea that it's not just for the few. It's not just for the lucky. It is something that you could progress at step by step, So it gave me everything I needed to get started, but it didn't really give me any direction. It told me about all the online sites. It told me about, marketing on social media, yada, yada. It gave me all the options, but didn't really set a course.
Right.
So by the end of it, I was just there, with my engine revved up, not knowing which way to go. And I was thinking, maybe you're supposed to just pick something and just gun it. I don't know. So I was consuming everything I could on YouTube, online, and that's where I found your videos. I would actually watch your other coachings like on my way to work and like practice along in my car.
Nice.
Yep. But then I saw you did the 15-minute phone call. So I was like, shoot, let me ask him where I'm at. And super, super glad that I did. The phone call was awesome. Here's the plug.
Yeah, you don't have to plug it. Like, I'm just genuinely like, it's helpful for people to hear what everyone's journey is and things that worked and things that didn't work. Or like, when you're starting in voiceover, there's so much information in the beginning, and just putting it together is one thing. But then it's like, okay, so now what? Like, how do I get work and all that stuff?
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly where I was at.
Not to like plug it, but like joining the community that kind of gave you that direction a bit.
For sure. The phone, I don't know if you remember the phone call or not.
Yeah, for sure. I don't remember the exact context of it. I do so much.
I kind of told you what I had done, and I sent ahead of time the first DIY demo I had ever done. And you took a look at everything. Sorry, I'm going to put my phone in Do Not Disturb. There you go. I sent you my first DIY demo ever. And I got on the call with you, and I was like, hey, I'll buy the class or whatever in the back of my head. But you listened to the demo, you saw where I was at, and you were like, hey, you got a setup, you have gear, your DIY demo, it's not bad for your first one. So I don't know if you need the whole course. You're very straightforward.
I did the opposite of sell you.
Right.
I told you not to buy it. You didn't need it.
But you were honest with me, and that meant a lot. So I was like, dude, I'll join the community, and because of that, I'll be a community member from now on. Really.
Right on, man. Cool. And you booked your first job too.
I did. I booked my first job.
Nice. Well, I'm sure there's going to be many more to come, because you're definitely one of the community all-stars, man. You're putting in the work and you're getting results from it. So let's show off a little bit, not to put you in the hot
All right.
seat. So full disclosure, these scripts, I've had a tremendously busy day. So Dariel just got these scripts. So he's going to do his best to break these down as we go. Now, the thing is, when you're doing voiceover and you get to the professional level where you're working, a lot of the time you don't have a lot of time preparing a script. I mean, you want to take the time that you need, but sometimes if you got to do like me, like 50 in a day, and you're running through them, sometimes you just got to, you got a couple minutes and you got to figure out what you're going to do. And that's what pros do. I can break down a script in less than a minute. 2 minutes is definitely enough time. 5-10 minutes, a bit of overkill, but we're going to do that right now. So first thing we're going to do is, which one do you want to do first? I'll give you the option. Do you want to, we're looking at a Verizon script and we're looking at State Farm. Which one?
Let's do State Farm first.
You want to do State Farm first? Okay.
Yeah.
So the direction we've got here is friendly, dependable, and sincere. Now,
got it.
Let's do a data read real quick, and then we'll talk about that direction.
Okay. Life is full of surprises. At State Farm, we're here to help life go right. With personalized insurance plans for your car, home, and more. You can rest easy knowing you're covered. Our agents are always ready to provide the support and advice you need. Get a quote today and see how State Farm is there for you. Like a good neighbor. Visit statefarm.com or call your local agent.
Great. So that was just a data read. So we're just going from top to bottom just to get our mouth around the words, make sure to see if there's any trouble spots we have trouble with, really understand what's actually happening. Now, when we look at the direction, it says friendly, dependable, and sincere. What do you do with that? Like, what do you think? Like, when you hear something like that?
I think friendly. I think of like a friendly tone, like I'm talking to somebody that I know. Maybe I'm actually an insurance agent, so maybe I'm talking to somebody who has questions about their insurance or something like that, and I'm giving the advice like I would a friend that asked me.
Yeah, that's a great response, but like I'm gonna take it like just down even more a notch, just like make it even more simple. Here's the thing: that whoever wrote this, we don't know what their definition of friendly, dependable, and sincere is. But you, to me, like, I mean, you're friendly. I don't know if you're dependable or not, but I believe that you would be, and sincere. So really, it's just being you. All you got to do is just be you in this. You at your friendliest self. You know what I mean? Like, as if a friend was coming over for tea and they're bringing like, someone important to them and you want to make a good impression, like their mom or something like that. And you're like, hey, how's it going? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. So let's just start bit by bit here. Let's go from like life is full of surprises down to knowing you're covered. And just be you, man. Just be you on this, no performance. Just really say it.
Okay. Life is full of surprises. At State Farm, we're here to help life go right. With personalized insurance plans for your car, home, and more. You can rest easy knowing you're covered.
Nice. Okay. Do you have insurance?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you say it like that?
So the car's not in my name, so the insurance isn't technically in my name.
Okay, but how do you feel about having insurance, though? Like, do you feel covered about, like, is it important? Like, when you go through insurance, do you want to pick, like, the right person to get insurance from? Like, did you read all the fine print? Like, you personally? There's no right or wrong answer. I'm just curious.
Yes, it is important. I mean, most places you need to have it, especially for auto and home.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to be getting it from a trustworthy source, not somebody who's going to try to add a bunch of extra stuff you don't need on, or just crank up the premium.
So do you use State Farm?
I have. I've worked for them.
Oh.
And I have used them. Mm-hmm.
Did you like working for them?
I did.
What was like a day that was like just like an awesome day? Like, was it like a boss, maybe an interaction you had?
Well, I think my favorite part of being there was the agency owner, like the actual, like when they say State Farm agent, there's like one guy who's the head of it. And he was really cool, very much a mentor to me early on when I was doing insurance. and he taught me a lot, and a lot about kind of just being not so much salesy, more of an advisor,
Right.
more
What was
like
his name?
Brett.
Okay, go to the script.
Life is full of surprises. At State Farm, we're here to help. We're here to help life go right with personalized insurance plans for your car, home, and more. You can rest easy knowing you're covered.
Okay, great, man. That's the guy I want. That's the guy I trust. That's the guy I'm going to get insurance from. It was very casual. You were very friendly, and it was just kind of off the cuff. You know what I mean? That's what we're
Yeah.
looking for. Now, I know there's a couple of hiccups. So before we start, just want you to take a big breath before we start again. Take a big breath and just keep that kind of relaxed conversational pace. There should be
Okay.
no transition difference from when you're like going into the script from when you're talking. You know what I mean? Like I could go from where I'm at right now to just life is full of surprises. At State Farm, we're here to help life go right. It should be seamless, and you're doing it. So just big breath, take the whole thing. I won't stop you this time. If you make a mistake, all good. Just start at the beginning of the sentence.
Got it. Life is full of surprises. At State Farm, we're here to help life go right with personalized insurance plans for your car, home, and more. You can rest easy knowing you're covered. Our agents are always ready to provide the support and advice you need. Get a quote today and see how State Farm is there for you. Like a good neighbor, visit statefarm.com or call your local agent.
Good, great. So just a couple of technical things. I would have liked just a little bit more of a smile on that last line, like a good neighbor. You know what I mean? Just that State Farm is there for you, like a good neighbor. That's sort of their thing, right? But also in the beginning. Now, when you're doing an audition, if this was an audition, which it usually is, because we do way more auditions than we actually book the job, the first, like, they're never going to listen to the whole not never. Usually they don't listen to the whole audition if you're being disqualified. And one way we can hook them in to get them to listen to the rest of the audition is usually that 3 to 4 seconds at the beginning. That's the most important. That's what they want to hear. Like, you knock it out of the park, so they'll listen to the rest of it. So in that beginning, little trick you can do is sucking them in. So you can say,
"Can you hear me? You're frozen on my end."
Am I frozen on your end? Can you hear me though?
You're good now. You're good. Yep. I can hear you now.
Okay. Hopefully it doesn't crap out too much. I was just saying, the beginning, there's something we can do that I like to do to draw people in. A lot of the time, voice actors will just hit it out of the gate and be like, life is full of surprises at State Farm. But if you do that, they're not catching up to what you're saying quick enough. But you could actually put a pause right after life, kind of like life is full of surprises, and then let it hang for a second at State Farm. And now you're drawing them in instead of talking to them. And when you do that, they're definitely going to listen to the rest of it. So why don't you give it a shot just in that first line, then we'll move on to the next script. You're doing great.
Cool. Life is full of surprises. At State Farm, we're here to help life go right.
How'd that feel?
That was good. It felt some suspense there.
Yeah. So here's the thing. When you're doing this, like, obviously you want to be yourself, as authentic as you can. But there's little tricks you can pick up along the way that you usually get from directors. Now, I've done a ton of directed sessions. That's why I know them. So I know that letting it hang like that, that's a thing that they're going to get you to do in a directed session. So that's just my gift to you, a little tip that you can do there. You don't necessarily have to do it, but the more time you take in the beginning, the more it allows them to get comfortable with you and your voice as well. And they'll listen instead of tuning out, talking to them instead of talking at them. That was a great job.
Yeah. Thank you.
Let's go on to Verizon. Now, before we do the data read, I want to look at this direction here. This direction says clear, authoritative, and reassuring. What the heck can we do with that? The one that is probably the biggest trap in voiceover is the one smack dab in the middle that says authoritative. Because, okay, I know what my definition of authoritative is, but what does it mean to you? What do you like when you hear it? No wrong answers. Like, what do you think when you hear authoritative?
I don't know, like someone almost talking down, maybe like somebody above you in station somehow, and it's just kind of like flat and direct.
Yeah. My definition of authoritative is somebody who's in a position of knowledge just more than you, which is kind of like the same thing, but in both ways. You're talking down, but you don't want to talk down to your audience. You want to talk on the same level. or they're going to feel like you're, I don't know, mansplaining to them, I guess, is fine, even though you're a man, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be like that. You want to talk to them at the same level. And that's how, like, that's why people always say in voiceover, you want to sound like you're talking to your best friend. So what we're going to do is we're going to change that authoritative to confident, because I think that's what they mean when you see it. When you see authoritative, unless they're like, we want an announcer, we want you to have a deep, booming voice of God voice and be authoritative. Unless it's in that context, I would just change it to confident, because then it's just really like, I think what they mean when they say that is just someone that knows what they're doing. But you don't have to be condescending. So you take the condescending out, be confident. So let's do a data read. We'll talk about it real quick, and then we'll jump into it.
Okay. Stay connected with Verizon, America's most reliable network. Whether you're streaming your favorite shows, working from home, or keeping in touch with the loved ones, you need a network you can trust. With Verizon's 5G ultra wideband, experience lightning fast speeds and unparalleled coverage. Switch today and see why more people rely on Verizon. Visit Verizon.com or your nearest Verizon store to learn more.
That's great. It's a good data read. You performed a little bit, but okay. So when you look at this, like, is there any kind of like descriptive words that jump out at you at all? I like to do that because it helps me get into like the mood and the tone of the script. Because you can learn a lot from the script, not just the direction. Oftentimes the direction will steer you in the wrong direction, but the real truth of it is in the script if it's written well. And this appears to be.
Right. Yeah. I think I like reliable.
Yeah. It can be a sentence too. It doesn't have to be just a word. Like for me, I pick up keeping in touch with loved ones.
Right.
You know, that has like a feeling to it. Even just saying that brings up feelings, you know? And how do you feel about lightning fast speeds and unparalleled coverage? That's pretty descriptive.
Right? I was going to say unparalleled is a good, that was the one that caught my eye as well.
Well, that's also an opportunity, just that word unparalleled coverage. If you own that, there's your authoritative confidence right there, you know? And you don't have to say that at them. You just know that. So like, before we jump into this, do you use Verizon?
Yes.
You do? Okay. Do you have options to use other ones, or you didn't give a shit, you just picked them?
My dad works for Verizon.
Your dad?
So I'm on the family plan. Yeah, you picked like the two like perfect ones for me as far as having an actual connection to the company.
Well, this is great. So how long has your dad worked at Verizon for?
Oh, geez. A long time. If he started when it was like Bell Atlantic, before Bell Atlantic was bought out by Verizon. So 20 plus years, probably.
Have you had problems with Verizon before? Or are they pretty dependable to you? Like, have you like, you know, do you have like moments like you can FaceTime your family without getting interrupted and stuff like that? And
yeah, I mean, for the most part, it's been good. There are areas around town where it's not the greatest, but I think that's probably true of any carrier.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'm with AT&T, and the same thing happens. So, like, probably, like, what's something, and we don't really think about this because it's just providers, you pay them money and stuff, but like, oftentimes you're having intimate conversations and stuff like that. What's something that you'd be willing to share with us that's like, you know, an intimate moment where...
You're frozen again?
Oh, can you hear me though?
No, I couldn't hear you while you were frozen, but you're unfrozen now.
The funny thing is, with the program we're recording on right now, everybody, we're recording on Riverside FM. Actually, I'm told that there'll be interruptions sometimes, but it's actually recording. So when we watch it back, it's probably going to look like I'm not frozen and nothing's happening, which would be funny because I said that to you and then you do it to me. But yeah, so just going back a second, like, is there like, you know, we don't think about our providers as being part of our lives, but they are. You know, they're helping us connect with family members, loved ones, things like that. And in moments, whether it's like graduations, milestones, things like that, or even deaths. Is there a moment that's like, you know, pick a happy memory, something that you'd be willing to share with us, where you were either using like their service, like whether it was phone, internet, or something like that to connect with somebody else? Anything that comes up that you'd be willing to share?
I don't know if it like specifically about, you know, connecting with somebody, but I mean, I do have kind of a soft spot for Verizon. So even when they annoy me, I still stick with them. And like I said, it's because My dad worked there for most of my life. When we were growing up, that was the income. That's what put food on the table, was
Okay, jump
the
into the
fact that
script. Go to the script, man. You're there.
stay connected with Verizon, America's most reliable network. Whether you're streaming your favorite shows, working from home, or keeping in touch with loved ones, you need a network you can trust. With Verizon's 5G ultra wideband, experience lightning fast speed and unparalleled coverage. Switch today and see why more people rely on Verizon. Visit verizon.com or your nearest Verizon store to learn more.
Good, good. How do you feel about that?
I felt like I was in a really good spot, and I feel like I tripped up and lost it halfway through there.
I'd say that's pretty accurate. That's yeah, no, but it was a really good start. Listen, like when you're doing these things, sometimes that can happen. Like the announcer starts to creep in, and that's what happens. And it's usually right when those commas start to come up. So I want you to take it again, and this time just ignore those commas. You know, don't play them. Just if they naturally play, that's fine. But you can really like blow right through them. You don't have to rush it, but talk in your natural cadence. And that's, I think, why it started off so good is you didn't really think about the punctuation or anything. You're just saying it. And then you kind of went into performance, So don't worry about the pauses. Like blow right through them. Like whether you're streaming your favorite shows, working from home, or keeping in touch with loved ones, you need a network you can trust. Just off the cuff.
Got it.
Yeah. But like, hold on, just before we do that again, how long did your dad actually work for them again? He's still working for them?
He is. He's getting ready to retire soon, but he is still working for them right now.
Does he get like a prize for retiring for like how many years? Like 30?
Yeah, around 30 probably. I mean, I don't think they do like a pension or anything anymore, but
gold watch?
Yeah. I actually don't know. I should ask him about that.
Yeah. Cool. All right, we'll jump into the script. See where you're at.
Stay connected with Verizon, America's most reliable network. Whether you're streaming your favorite shows, working from home, or keeping in touch with the loved ones, you need a network you can trust. With Verizon's 5G ultra wideband, experience lightning fast speed and unparalleled coverage. Switch today and see why more people rely on Verizon. Visit verizon.com or your nearest Verizon store to learn more.
Good, good, good. Much better. Now we're going to use our imagination, because imagination is acting, and it's very, very helpful if you use it in a good way. So the way we're going to use it is like, do you love your dad?
Yeah.
What would you like to see for him? And it can be totally like unrealistic. However, you let your imagination run wild. What do you think would be a proper send-off retirement? What do you think Verizon should do for him?
I don't pay off the rest of his mortgage, let him retire with nothing to worry about.
This is great.
Yeah, just that's really what I want for him, is to retire with not having to worry about anything, not having to worry about the house, not having to worry about the cars, and just be able to chill out. He's old now. He deserves it.
Yeah, great. Okay, we're gonna just keep that. They've done it now. They've done it. They've called you. They said they're going to present him with a surprise. They're going to give him a cake, and then he's going to cut the cake, and it's actually going to be a fake cake, and in the middle is going to be a check that's going to take care of his mortgage and set him for life, because they appreciated him.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, now start the script.
Stay connected with Verizon, America's most reliable network. Whether you're streaming your favorite shows, working from home, or keeping in touch with loved ones, you need a network you can trust. With Verizon's 5G ultra wideband, experience lightning fast speed and unparalleled coverage. Switch today and see why more people rely on Verizon. Visit verizon.com or your nearest Verizon store to learn more.
That was great. That was great, man. That was different. It was like more energetic, and like, I could tell you had an opinion about it. That's why we do these things, where we try to find out like what kind of connection we can have to the script, because without it, we're just saying words. And, they're not, when you read this, the client who's listening to it, they're not going to know specifically what you're excited about, or what you're happy about, or what you sound friendly and reassuring about, or what you're confident and authoritative about. They're just going to know that it's there. So it can be anything you use from your own life. And I thought that was a really good job. Yeah.
That one felt good.
Yeah.
That one felt good.
Yeah. It should almost feel effortless. If you feel like you're doing things, you're probably like stinking it up. it should feel just effortless. So I always take a second before I go into it. I do it much quicker now because I have things right at the go. But yeah, you know, you take a second, find out what your connection is, jump into it. So great job. Any questions about
Thank
anything?
you. No, man, that was fantastic.
Okay,
I'm ready
cool.
to. Hopefully, I have some auditions piled up or something I can try right now.
Yeah. Get it. All right. Thank you so much, Dariel. It's been a pleasure, and I appreciate you doing this. This is how we learn, and a lot of people out there get a lot of value from this. So thanks so much for being brave and coming on and helping us out with that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
All right. And if anybody else would like to try this, check out the links below. Come into my community. Maybe you'll be the next one on the YouTube channel. Until next time, I'm Jesse. This is Dariel, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.